going on, everyone? Rodrigo here. Alright, so today's Monday. I guess he's done deadlifting. Alright, so it's Monday. And it's day one of week 3, block 1. So it's the heaviest week of the block compared to weeks 1, 2. So this week we're going to go ahead and push the intensity a little bit. Still staying within the RPE range, of course. And then next week we're actually going to deload and then rinse and repeat for the entire block. That's something I'm going to go ahead and talk about as far as how I periodize my blocks. A very commonplace right now is block periodization with 3 weeks of training of accumulation, either intensity or volume, and then that follows, deload follows after that, and then like I said, rinse and repeat. So warming up right now on bench, got 4x7 at about RPE 7, and I don't feel too bad. I feel okay, you know, still warming up, but my goal is to beat last week and still stay within the RPE range. Hopefully we can do that, but we'll see. What's going on, YouTube? Rodrigo here, and today we're going to go ahead and talk about nutrition. So you're taking a look at week 3 of block 1. The following week was a deload. I just completed the deload, so I'm about to start block number 2, day 1. But I want to make sure that I share some pretty important information as far as nutrition, and of course take you through the weekly progression of my training while we talk about nutrition. So, like I said, today's topic is nutrition, more specifically how I'm approaching my weight leading into IPF Worlds. So before I do that, I want to go ahead and give you all some background information because context is very, very important to this. At least for me, at least in my case, when we get down to the detailed numbers, you'll see what I mean, basically. So, right after Raw Nationals, so mid-October of 2019, I made the decision to put myself in a calorie surplus, which prior to then, I had not done in, I want to say, close to 2 years. A year and a half, 2 years. I had always consumed at around maintenance calories, quote-unquote maintenance, because your maintenance calories change from day to day, week to week, month to month, right? Depending on your physical activity, body weight fluctuations, etc. So I made the decision to be in a calorie surplus and concurrently test a few things in terms of training. So I ran an experimental training cycle of 12 weeks during this quote-unquote calorie surplus or bulk, whatever you want to call it, right? It was controlled. It was maybe 250, 300 calories above maintenance calories. So really the goal was just growth, right? On top of the experimental training block and the goals I had set, it was growth. Now, unfortunately, I was inconsistent throughout those 12 weeks. I was definitely spot on the first block, the first 4 weeks, and then I kind of got inconsistent the second block, or the weeks 5 through 8. And then the third block, I got a little bit back on track in terms of consistency. But anyways, now it's IPF Worlds prep. I'm 16 weeks out officially today, or in a few days I'll be 16 weeks out. And the goal is to start controlling my weight and get myself back down to what I would consider my competition walking weight, where I can then make 66 kg via water cut. For block number 2, today I've got front squats, tempo front squats, anywhere between 3 to 4 sets, sets of 6, RPE 7 I believe. I'm a little beat up from the last 2 days of training. Generally today, Wednesday and tomorrow, Thursday, are my easier days to give me some time to recover and get ready for the next 2 heavier training sessions, which is Friday and Saturday. Feeling okay as far as energy-wise. I was able to sleep a little bit more tonight, or last night, compared to the night before. So I'm hoping for maybe not a PR, but at least a really good productive session. So let's get to it. Okay, so like I said, the goal now is to get to a walking weight where I can make the 66 kg class via water cut. So let's go ahead and give you some context, because this is where the details that I'm going to cover basically need context, right? So first and foremost, everything that I'm saying right now is specific to me. It's not a recommendation of any kind. In fact, it's the opposite. Do not do what I do, okay? This is specific to me. It's also unhealthy to a certain degree, right? But that's just the way it is. That's just the nature of the beast in terms of competition. So what do I mean by that? So walking into Raw Nationals, I was fluctuating around 154 pounds. So if you do the math, I basically did a 9-pound water cut, right? For a lifter of my size, that is above what's generally recommended. If I'm not mistaken, what's recommended is about 5% of your body weight within 2 hours. That would be the max. So I think I did about 6%, right? So obviously, again, do not do what I do, right? Not a recommendation. So with that being said, I also have to give you some more context in terms of why I'm doing this, why I'm actually able to do this. Well, the reality is that I have, in a way, I have capped out from the 66 weight class. I walk around, when I'm 154 pounds or so, I walk around about 8% body fat. So I'm pretty damn lean at that point. So for me to continue focusing on losing weight at that point, it's just going to affect my energy levels, and that's going to affect my performance. It's just not worth the trade-off in terms of getting leaner or getting to a lower body fat, or a lower body weight number. So with that being said, I also have to mention that the reason that I do this, or the reason that I am able to do this, is because, again, I have so much lean body mass relative to my weight, to my competition weight. The more muscle or lean body mass you have, the more water retention you can have, right? Unlike body fat or adipose tissue, muscle tissue requires water, right? This is the reason why we are made up of a majority of water. Lean body mass requires water for hydrating the muscle. I can go into details on this, but the reality is muscle retains more water than adipose tissue. So with me having as much lean body mass as I do, I'm able to make that aggressive water cut and make weight and maintain a good chunk, if not the majority of my performance, right? Now, if depending on whether I do the water cut correctly or not, will dramatically affect my performance, obviously, right? It could be the difference between maintaining 95, 97% of my total strength versus 90% of my total strength, right? So, again, this is specific to me. This only works for me. I don't recommend this for anyone. But now, moving on, because we are already 16 weeks out as of today or tomorrow from IPF Worlds. So when I first started prep, I was about 161 pounds. A whole weight class over. Crazy, I know. But the reality is that I know exactly how my body works. Not only that, I have a lot of experience with just body weight manipulation, nutrition, etc. That's my professional background for those of you who don't know. So the first block was really just to find a new maintenance calories and just control my body weight, right? Reduce the excess and reduce the surplus at that point. So luckily, I went from 161 pounds to 159 pounds, or 159 and a half, somewhere around there. So now the goal is to lose about 2, maybe 2.5 pounds of body fat every block. So every 4 weeks, I'm losing about 2 to 2.5 pounds. And this is obviously going to be induced via a calorie deficit, a very small and controlled calorie deficit, but also through the implementation of conditioning, whether it's low intensity steady state cardio or whether it's actual high intense anaerobic cardio training. So I implement both of them into my training. Specifically, when I'm further out from competition, I'll do the higher intensity. And really, again, this is just to keep eliciting that calorie deficit and have that be the main goal in terms of, or the main factor in terms of controlling my body weight or getting my body weight down. So again, really losing 2 pounds every 4 weeks is very slow and controlled for me. Sometimes I'll go slower. It really depends on how my performance is in terms of powerlifting training. But the reality is by block 3, maybe block 4, right? So about 8 weeks out, I should be at my goal weight of about 154, 155 pounds. And from there, I should be able to make the water cut as usual. And that should do that. So I guess that's basically the goal in a nutshell. If you want more of a detailed video of how I'm doing everything, go ahead and post it down below. Again, this isn't a recommendation for anyone. This is specifically to me. So do not attempt this. Do not copy this. But anyways, I hope this video has been informative to some degree. If it has, please make sure to like that video. Share the video with someone who you think would benefit from. But again, they're not going to copy it, right? And that's it. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you all in that next video.